I want to give a huge shout out and a thank you to my sponsor, P2 Collectibles, located at 204 East McGalley Road in Muncie and on eBay as well. So next time you're here in Muncie, let us know. Come give us a visit. Hey, what is up, y'all? This is Alex from Plus3 TCG, and I am coming at y'all with a deck profile today. Now that we have Neo Space Connector, most Warrior decks are getting a nice boost. We can worry less about hands traps because Neo Space Connector gets you into Aqua Dolphin, which gets you rid of the hand traps. So, without further ado, let's hop right into RHONGO BONGO, as y'all can tell. I really like this deck because it is, for some reason, it's like a cool version of Bujins meets Goki, because you have this protect the castle kind of strategy that Bujins are very familiar with, protect your motto. And we have the very combo-oriented side, much like Goki. Goki were still a thing, of course, they would play 3 of this without a doubt. But we're not playing Goki, so we're still playing 3 Neo Space Connector, though, because this card is amazing. It just gets you your Aqua Dolphin from hand or deck, preferably from deck. But if they ash it, I guess that's decent. But if you have like a junk forward in this, yeah, if they ash it, I guess whatever for them. And then 2 Dark Grepher. I'm not playing 3 because our light count or our dark count is not as high as it could be. We're not playing in the danger cards, so that's why I play it at 2. But 1 Armageddon Knight and 1 Vion. All of these cards essentially are just there to pitch cards from deck. Dark Grepher pitching pretty much, Dark Grepher and Armageddon Knight pitching pretty much whatever you want, and then Vion pitching your 2 copies of Malicious. Well, you're just pitching 1, but when you get 1, you get the other. And then the Armageddon Knight and Dark Grepher can send, like I said, pretty much any of your cards in your deck, like Silent Boots. You kind of prefer this one in hand, but not terrible to see engraved either. Same thing with Cloak. This gets you any of these. This gets you your spell or traps. Ragalove sends 1 to the grave, so I'm only playing 1. It's not as relevant. I find myself summoning this off Summon Sorceress if I don't have the level 3, which can be a problem with this deck, where you have like boards where you can end in a RHONGO Miniad, but you don't have the other level 3 to play it out correctly to where you can get 5 materials under it. 3 junk forward for the extenders. My own tech, Spell Striker. It's pretty, this isn't like Spice or anything. This is just Warrior that specials itself. It could be Gilosaurus, but it's not a Warrior. I really like Gilosaurus in this deck because I've been playing it for a bit, but it's not a Warrior. And there are times where if Gilosaurus just would have been a Warrior, it would have been an amazing extender, and that's why I'm trying out Spell Striker, because this card can be easily summoned if you just summon Isolde. Isolde, send your spells for cost, and then you have a free special summon in Spell Striker. So that's why I'm playing this. I'm testing it at 1. I think it's going to be relevant because, like I said, the level 3 problem is just that. It's a problem. If you don't have the level 3 to extend into the full RHONGO Miniad board, which is putting 5 materials under it, it's just, I don't know. That's why I'm playing this, and then Destrudo as well, because you just target a 4, make this a 3, and then go off from there. Spells, of course, Rhoda. Also, of course, Foolish. It's like, it works with every card in your deck, so why not? 3 Instant Fusion. 2 great extenders. If you open 2 Warriors and a Soul Charge, you should be winning that duel. Monster Born, not so much. And they're playing the 5 Quips, Divine Sword, DDR. These ones are probably the most advantageous to use. This one only comes up if you open up bad, so it makes bad hands worse and good hands great. Because, well, even then not great, because you have to like open Destrudo. But it's a grave extender. If you open it, I guess it's alright. Same thing with our Fatador. This is terrible. It's good for going second though. If you draw into it, and then Living Fossil, not too terrible. 3 Call by the Grave, because this is a combo deck, and that's also why I'm playing Magical Midbreaker Field. This may seem a bit counterintuitive, considering that RHONGO Miniad It's when it has 5 materials, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls, but if this card is on the field, then you can't destroy their monsters. But that's alright, because they probably can't summon a strong enough monster to do anything for 2 turns. So you are mainly just worried about their back row, and then I guess with Exy's Encore, they can still get you in main phase 2, but if for some reason they don't pay attention, I guess that's on them. They just don't get you with Exy's Encore. But yeah, this card is absolutely amazing because you're just playing essentially 6 Call by the Graves. It's not as good as Call by the Grave, but it does pretty much get you there. I think it's worth it. You could, I guess, be playing more extenders, but the fact that you have a very fragile deck, I think, is more than enough reason to play 6 things that stop hand traps. And then for our traps, playing Phantom Knight Fogblade and the Phantom Knights of Shade Brigandine. I don't feel like you need more than one of this. Opening it, yeah, that's great, but if you don't have the extenders to go along with it, it's better searched. Same thing with Fogblade. If you open it, that's great because then you can search your Shade Brigandine and have more interruption. But the 1-on-1 is great. On to the extra deck. These 2 standard cards. Don't need to talk about these. This one you can make with 3 or 4 material. Make this like freaking indestructible. You should be winning that game if this thing has 7 material. Leviair for when you don't open up great and you need to use Phoenix Blade to banish an extender or a starter, like preferably Armageddon Knight, and then summon it with Leviair and ditch your last piece. Break Sword is there for the spot removal. It kind of conflicts because if you summon this after you've already summoned, like if a turn passes and you still have RHONGO Bongo with the field spell, then you had the chance to make this. You can pop the field spell and pop a back row, which I would argue is probably the best way of doing anything because, like I said, the monsters you're not worried about because they can't summon them for 2 turns, and it's unaffected, so you're not too worried. So popping the field spell and popping a back row is a really good way of clearing the board if you don't have the material under RHONGO Bongo. I'm playing Isolde, Summon Sorceress, Bardic, because it's not Bardic Shell. These are pretty standard, I would say. I hear people saying like this is the card to end on. I feel you, man. I really do. I just don't see how you're always making it. So maybe I'm just missing something. Let me know down in the comment section below if there is a much easier way of making this. Maybe I'm just not playing the cards to do so. But I find that I'm either ending on these 2 or honestly Lamphorenicus, because the card that I summon Sorceress, sometimes it's a Phantom Knight and I need it to get engraved, so I'll link it away for Lamphorenicus because I'll have Summon Sorceress, a level 4, and a Phantom Knight, and yeah, sure, I can make Bardiche there, but I'm losing my 4 and I need my 4, or I need one or the other usually, so I find myself linking this away with the other card or with a Phantom Knight, and then like usually getting the board, usually continuing my plays from there. Ending with the RHONGO Bongo board that everyone loves to see. 1 Nightmare Phoenix and 1 Nightmare Unicorn, like I said, kind of counterintuitive because of the field spell, but it's not too much considering that you are usually making a board that your opponent has a lot of trouble getting over, because RHONGO Bongo with 5, 6, or 7 is tough to get over. Playing Boral Sword and Boraload. These come up sometimes. They both have their spots. Gets over stuff. OTKs. I'm going to play 1 Dragoness, 1 Raijin. As far as the fusions, I guess you could find space to put in a level 4 so that you have more chances of opening the board. Like sometimes it's advantageous to keep the 3 up, and then I just feel like you could play the 4, but I don't see it as necessary because it's so easy to summon the 4s, and you just need the level 3 extenders in order to make the Bamboozler. And then Black Rose, because you can make Black Rose. If you go second, The deck has a problem going second, obviously, because it's a combo deck and you want to be going first to set your board up. So going second, that's why we're kind of playing these going second cards like Boral Load, Boral Sword. Man, having these two cards with such close names really gets the tongue twisted sometimes. But yeah, that's why we're playing these 4 cards, and then we're also playing Invoke Raijin instead of playing level 4, so that we have going second options. That's the deck, y'all. I understand I'm not playing the Danger version. I don't know if that is the best version necessarily. I feel like we still have to have a little bit of time to figure out what's the best version. The reason I'm not playing the Dangers, 1, I don't own them. 2, they're not my favorite engine to be playing. I don't like the idea of having cards pitched from my hand because there's not always going to be the ideal hand, and if they pitch a card that you need, well, tough shit, that happens, I guess. I guess that's variability though, but I like to cut back on as many variables as possible, and that is why I'm playing what I think is just a very cut and dry, very consistent version of this Dark Warrior RHONGO Bongo deck. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below, y'all. And yeah, maybe some combos coming up soon. Like I said, comment down below, y'all. Let me know what you think. This is Alex with Plus for TCG. Signing out, y'all.